this from my Secret Santa.
Oh my god. It's literally the exact same ergonomic mouse that I have.
Yeah, I'm crazy about it. I'm so happy.
Thrilled, actually. That's insane.
Yeah. So
how did they know that you wanted to
well,
copy
I mean,
me
like
exactly?
we get like in our Secret Santa, you get to like make a little wish list of things.
And
I put that
you
as
just
one
put
of
a
the
series
things.
of things that I own, so you could kind of feel like I was around still.
Sure, that's it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. You're just so heartbroken about the fact that I'm no longer in Brooklyn that you.
Well, first of all, yes,
started
I am,
sabotaging.
and I don't appreciate you saying that so flippantly. Obviously, I'm heartbroken. It's devastating. But no, that's not why I wanted a ergonomic mouse. I can miss you in other ways.
No. Listen, I bring very few things to the table, but one of them is ergonomic mouses that I have shown several people them, and they've been like, "Oh shit, this is the best ever!"
Yeah.
After using it once, and everyone is so suspicious. But it's like it's not infrequent. I have bought this exact one for 5 different people now. And
that
all
is
of them
kind
doubt
of
me.
wild, actually.
Well, 4 of them doubt me. One of them is my dad, who I bought it for Christmas this year. So he doesn't know that he's getting that yet, but will enjoy it.
Doubt you? What do you mean doubt you?
Because it looks stupid. And it's like, no, I would use a mouse like a normal person. And then they like, I don't know if I'm going to like it being straight up. And then they start using it and they're like, oh, shit.
Oh, they doubted you until they started using it. And then they were like, oh, this
and they're
fucks.
like, oh, damn, this is the best. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, one day, I had like a meeting in my silly little, which I like it because mine looks like a little,
it's cute. It's a little
gerbil.
hamster. Yeah.
And I like that. But it died and I didn't have anything and I had a meeting in like 30 seconds. So I just stole yours. And then I was like instantly like, oh, I need this.
It's good,
I want this so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
and
this
then
is
one of my other colleagues got me this cute little glass
that is cute. It's
jar
nice
to drink out of. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. My cousin got me this today.
Yeah, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is so sweet.
Winnie the Pooh, 1950s copy of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
because
God,
I told
so
them the
cute.
reason why I go by Robin is because of Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
And then Megan was like, I can't call you Robin in front of your parents. So I just want to know that I see you, and it hurts me that I can't do it. So this is the gift, is an original copy of Winnie the Pooh.
Love her. I love her. Oh my
It's
God.
truly, I immediately, tears hit me like a truck instantly.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
I can't.
One of the greatest
even
people
imagine.
I've ever
was
met.
Emotional just reading the texts about it.
Yeah.
Oh God, love her. Like
truly an outstanding woman.
What an absolute winner.
Yeah. So I'm getting emotional about that. I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to get it framed, I think. So I can get a nice little original, maybe it's not original, but it's 1950s. It's fucking
it's very
old.
vintage. It's very classic. Yeah.
Yeah. Of Winnie the Pooh. A little Christopher Robin in it.
That's cute. Is that just what happens in England? Do you just walk around and original versions of classic literature are just strewn about the streets?
She went to Portobello Market in London, which is not close to us. So she did go hunting for it. Went to a place, like an old vintage store in a vintage market to get it. So, but yeah, that happens. Happens a lot.
It
actually.
does seem like that's what the vibe of.
Yeah, absolutely it is. No, they're wonderful. And then we've been drinking espresso martinis all night, but they're espresso martinis from a can because my dad bought 15 of them.
Still drinking the canned?
My dad bought so many of them, and they all suck.
Yeah.
So
The first, I love this because I saw you take a sip from the first one and visibly wince. And then every night since, you've been like, you know what I'm up to? Drinking one of those
I'm gonna
fucking
have one of those
god-awful
fucking
espresso martinis.
shit espresso martinis. And this is this is the realest I've ever been on this podcast. I'm scared this is going to make me not like espresso martinis anymore, which is my favorite drink of all time. Is an espresso martini. And what if I start getting sense memory to bad espresso martinis?
To the bad ones. I have like such an easy way for this to all end. You just don't have
kill
them
myself.
anymore.
I kill myself. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then you won't have to confront this any longer.
Thank God. I'd way rather.
No, it's like when people try to get you to quit smoking cigarettes by making you smoke a whole pack back to back.
Yeah.
Like you'll hate it so much that you'll just never. Yeah.
And
no.
then they get addicted to smoking and they're confused
And
as
then
to how that happens.
they're like, I've never smoked before. Why would you make me do this?
I smoked one cigarette and didn't like it because cigarettes aren't nice. Yeah.
Hmm.
They're nice to us now because both of us smoke, but when you have your first,
Yeah.
But we only smoke for the aesthetic.
We only smoke when Elliot is standing within 5 feet of us.
And then we're like, can we bum a cigarette off you? And he's like, yeah, I fucking guess.
Yeah.
You know, he started buying packs for us. So we has a
my God.
pack so we can
Being
bum
our
cigarettes.
friend is truly a taxing experience.
We are leeches. We're parasites on other people's lives. We find people that we like. We slowly absorb their energy whilst talking to each other and then go to them for like, hey, have you got a cigarette? Hey, have you got a drink?
Oh my God. Well, that I don't accept. No, we're good and beautiful friends.
I know,
but we are leeches about Elliot's cigarettes, and that
we are leeches about the cigarettes. That's the only thing that we're leeches about. We're good in other contexts because we throw the parties, and that's the payoff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. If you come to our party, you have to bring a cigarette.
Bring cigarettes
each for us.
To
but only if you smoke
us.
And you already have them. Like, I don't want you buying a whole thing for us.
Oh yeah. Of course, obviously. Yeah. Those canned espresso martinis are hidden.
Are hidden?
Hidden.
Oh, we're hidden? No, yeah. I've only had like 2 today.
Okay.
They have I swear to God, they have 0 caffeine and 0 alcohol in them. They just they have
they're just
100%
chemical.
bad taste. Yeah.
They're just chemical water. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just evil drinks. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Robin. I have completed 2 Dragon Age games and almost 3. Exciting.
Like very exciting. And I'm Dillin. I've played all the Dragon Age games a million times. No, sorry. The first 3 Dragon Age games a million times.
There we go.
There it is.
This is Dorkspawn. A show where we play Dragon Age like a bloody book club. Today we're doing the Dragon Age Inquisition DLC, the Jaws of Hakkon. Jaws of Hakkon. Which is cool. It's interesting because last week we did the Descent, which is a bad
DLC.
Arguably,
one of the worst in the series, I would say.
I might push for the worst in the series.
I really can't argue with you.
Because the thing is that Felicia Day's Big Day Out is bad, but Felicia Day's Big Day Out was so full of good bits.
Yeah, Felicia Day's Big Day Out was at least fun.
It was fun. It had all of the courtyard shit was great. It had unique mechanics with the sneaking around.
Yeah.
It has good staying power because the amount of times that we've referenced Felicia Day in the show afterwards is phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Jaws of Hakkon has a really good story and then dog shit everything else. I would say
The Descent, you mean?
Yes, sorry. I would say this is almost flipped. I do think the story is good, but I think the experience of this DLC is really good because it's just the game again. It's just the game, but again.
Yes. This doesn't feel like we're going on one extra long adventure. You do fully unlock a new part of the world, Just like you do anytime you unlock, like, the Emerald Graves or um,
Hmm.
the Frostback Basin is just another area on the map that you unlock. And then it's sort of like another place where you can interact with as much or as little as you want to, as long as it has a couple main quests for you to tackle. And what we go here for is, so the Inquisition discovers the last known location of the former Inquisitor, the first Inquisitor, Inquisitor Ameridan.
Hmm.
And you learn that his body was never recovered from this place. And we don't know where he disappeared to, why he never came back,
Yeah.
um,
What really happened to him at
what
all?
really happened. So it seems like, and this is why, because you can play this DLC any time you want to.
I had a really hard time starting this DLC because I didn't get when it began, because I'd already started it when I was playing Inquisition, because I unlocked the Frostback Basin. I
Oh, you
hadn't gone
did.
there, but I unlocked it. And then so I was like, oh, okay, so it's in the Frostback Basin. So then I went to there and I was walking
Ah,
around and I was speaking to people and I was like, I mean, they're talking about the Jaws of Hakkon and there's a lot of Avar here, but I don't see any quest line that says the Jaws of Hakkon. I don't see anything like with it, and I was really
sure.
confused. And then I was texting you, and you were like, "Oh, it's the whole area is it?
Yeah, the
It's
whole area is
everything
the
there."
Jaws of
I was
Hakkon.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, I that's why I like to do it after the main quest. It feels like such a thing where it's like, okay, like what is the Inquisition's purpose now? Who the fuck knows? Our purpose, we came together as an organization literally to kill this guy Corypheus and close the hole in the sky. We did that. Um
mm,
so maybe now our mission is to figure out what happened to the first Inquisition. Why did it end? Why what happened to them, and like maybe that's gonna help me to figure out what the fuck my purpose is anymore.
mm-hmm,
Um, at least that's Boss's kind of mindset, because Boss is like, this is the most, this is the most I've ever mattered in my life. I've been a mercenary. I just do other people's jobs for them.
mm-hmm,
This is, I can't let go of this. Like I don't know how to uh
yeah,
like say
100%,
goodbye to having a purpose in life. I just don't know what it is anymore. So searching for the resting place of the old Inquisitor and finding out what happened seems like a perfectly rational thing to be doing. You go to the Frostback Basin, which is like this, like in in between the Frostback Mountains, where we've been before in other games and in this one.
mm-hmm,
In between the mountains, in that those low lands down there, there are these rivers that flow through, um and then up on the mountains are these like encampments where the Avar live. And it's a cool region. All of, or not all of them, but a lot of the camps that you set are in these like tree houses that like surround that like are way up over the basin floor. um you get a little bit more in the camps than you normally do in the rest of Inquisition. So your
mm-hmm,
camps don't just have like a tent and a thing to change your party. You also have access to some of your crafting stuff, your
mm-hmm.
armor and potions and all of that stuff. So you don't have to go all the way back to Skyhold um every time, which is cool. Um and there's a lot of like dynamics to this map that I think are fun, because like some things are like in this basin floor and they're like in this murky, muddy, like dark place. And then some of them are like up in this beautiful like treetops area, or like up on the side of a mountain. It's really cool. Um and so when you get there, Harding introduces you to a professor whose name I forget. I want to say Fenric or Fennec or
Oh
something like that.
shit! I could have sworn I written it down and I didn't. Evil.
And he's got a fun accent because I think he's from Starkhaven. Um,
I thought he was from Orlais. I know he's in the University of Orlais.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he tells you he's been studying this. And so they tell you a couple of things. One, there is a camp of Avar who are friendly to us, who have shown us no hostility, but there are cult Avar called the Hakkonites who are extraordinarily hostile and will attack you on sight, and they're all along the river basin.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also tells you that there's an island that he's marked on the map that might have some clues. There's some strange magic coming from there, but it's heavily guarded and we don't have a way to get there.
Bram
So
Kenrick is this
thank
guy's
you.
name. He is
Henrik.
from
There you go.
Starkhaven,
He
yes.
is from Starkhaven. Fuck yeah.
He is. And he goes to the University of Orlais, which is
Hell
why
yeah.
yeah, there you go.
So what did you do anything first in this? Like, because there's a couple, you can do this in any order of operations
I
technically.
I naturally, because I was a bit stuck on where to begin, I killed a couple of guys. I destroyed a couple of Avar like Hakkon encampments.
Yeah,
And then I found myself just going to the island to be like, okay, I'm going to figure this out.
sure.
To get on the island, because it's so far away, you speak to the fisherman who is having an argument with some of the Hakkonites. And then he's like, I can't just give you the boat because the island is weird and spooky. And if anything happens, then I will be to blame. So go speak to the leader of, her name is Sunhair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, go speak to her. And if she says that you can, then sure, I can get you on the boat. And I was like, okay, sure thing. I ran on my way up there. Boo-ly-boo-ly-boo. There was a cool little competition of these guys like trying to climb up a rock as fast as possible. And then I was
Yeah.
like, the fuck's going on with these guys? And then they're like, well, there was like a dispute, and
Yeah.
whoever gets up the rock faster is the winner.
Which I think
said
is
dispute.
fun. They're like, if there's not a clear right person, that's how you solve disputes.
Yeah, just a weird physical challenge that I will pick in the moment.
Yeah.
And then if one of their claims is really outrageous, then I'll just put rocks on them, and then
Yeah.
make them do the same challenge.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the gods will let whoever wants to win, or let whoever's supposed to win and in the right win. And I was like, okay, sure. Then she asks you to go like help out some people. She needs her bear back.
Yes.
Actually, no, she does need this, but then also when I'm like, hey, can I use the boat? She's like, oh yeah, I don't care, that's fine. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you very much. But before I did that, I did the arena, which I thought was really fun. I love a game with an arena. I did the little combat fighting arena, which means I need to do a small. Also, who did you bring?
Well, so when you get to the Avar hold, and you meet Thane Sunhair and you start meeting all these people, she explains that the Hakkonites are a thorn in their side as well. These cultists. So like the Avar, which we've met earlier in the game and we kind of have an awareness of this, is that they are like a polytheistic society. They have like the god of this, that, and the other. They have different gods to worship for different things. The Hakkonites only worship Hakkon, who is the god of war. And so all they care about is war, fighting, and basically taking things over. And she explains to you that like this pops up every couple of 100 years in their history, like where some people like just justify their bloodlust by claiming that it's Hakkon
God's
is the
will
like
or
only
whatever.
god. Yeah. Very, very Yahweh coded. And they and so, but she's like, but we can't help you because that would be declaring war, like within our clans to any other like Hakkonite worshippers that exist anywhere would come and seek revenge on us for basically betraying like our own people. So we can't help you,
It's
but
not even
sorry,
Hakkonites,
we
right?
get
It's
it.
literally any Avar. She's like,
Yeah.
all of them will come for me,
It,
not just Hakkonites.
That's true. Because it would be a big betrayal. But she's like, but you know what? If you are trustworthy enough, maybe we might just take that risk anyway. So then it's
Mm,
like, okay, you have to like try to do things to gain favor with the hold. And one of those things you can do is that arena that you mentioned. You can prove yourself in battle. There's also like, and this is a fun way to like kind of introduce you to the lore they've written about this group of people and their rituals and stuff. We find a hunter whose leg is broken, and his
mm,
father has just passed, I believe. And he's supposed to bring a sacrifice for the funeral in order to like inherit his title, and send his father off in the correct way. But he can't do it because his leg is broken.
mhm,
Um, but you found out that the hold is not allowed to turn away any gift from a stranger. So
mm,
you can do it, and they would have to accept it on your behalf, and his father would get his resting rights. Um, and so then we go and we kill fade touched creatures, which are really cool and they're really big. They're just like bigger, glowy, tougher versions of other animals that we fought throughout the game, like wyverns and spiders and shit. Um, and they're pretty tough. And then you can hand that over. You have the choice to just hand it over and let them do the rites, or you can give the gift to the son and let him give it, although it comes with less approval from the clan because you're kind of like they can tell that you're sort of like manipulating their rules, but you do
yeah.
make that one kid pretty happy.
There's also a researcher, or not a researcher, just someone who's going to go give a gift to the shrine, and you can go but she's been gone for a really long time, so you have to go find her, and she's fighting some weird
Yeah.
wyvern little beasts. And then you help walk her up a mountain. Oh wait, no, that's someone else. There is someone
Yeah.
who has gone to a shrine, and you have to like scope them out, because you have to like go to these like big stone faces and find her like climbing equipment. You go all the way up, and then you find her, you help her fight a thing, and she's like, oh, thank you. And then she says like that she worships spirits and possibly demons, and is like, hey, can I say your name in this for a blessing?
Yeah.
Um,
Did
and
you let her?
Helwyn at the minute, who is like, actually, fuck every god. I actually hate all of them, and my elven heritage is destroyed anyway because my ex wrecked it for me. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, do it. Which Vivienne and Cassandra, the two people who I brought with me, did not like at all. And then I got a blessing from this demon.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
Boss said
did,
no.
but
Boss was like, "No, thank you. You say your prayer, though."
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I waited around for her to do it. Helwyn is crashing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
mean, her fucking boyfriend love bombed the shit out of her and then left. Took
and
her
then bounced.
face with him. Crazy
Exactly.
behavior.
Yeah. And was was fully like, oh yeah, we'll talk about this after, and then just bounced like an evil man, evil little bald egg.
Oh God.
I brought Cassandra, Vivienne, and Cole with me.
Good.
Um,
Good group.
three who I really think is good. The reason for Vivienne is because I really have not brought her anywhere in the whole
This is a
game,
good spot for her, though, I think.
and she hates Cole. She hates him.
Yep.
So almost all of their dialogue was her being like, "Oh, can you tell your scummy little demon not to stand so close to me?" And Cole is like, "I didn't. I'm not a scummy demon." And she's like, shut up, beast." But there's a fun thing when they are arguing with one another, or rather, she's arguing at him, and then he goes into this whole thing where he like reads her past about one time when she was doing the harrowing and came across a demon, and then it was like when she came to all of the Templars were standing around her with their weapons drawn, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna be that," and she got like, it was like a whole thing where Cole was
Yeah.
like, "I will," and then Cole said, "I would never let any Templar touch you. I would slaughter them first," and then she's like, "Sure." And I was like, "Ooh, I actually love this dynamic of Cole being like this compassion spirit, being like, no, I know why you hate me, and I refuse to hate you back. Actually,
Yeah. I
um,
refuse to hate you back. And the thing that's funny about that is that we know, and we don't know how much Vivienne knows, that could be up for debate, but we know that Cole means it, because Cole
yeah,
has massacred Templars for trying to touch a single mage boy that he did not know.
yeah,
That's how his whole existence came to be. So like that's a promise.
yeah.
he,
It's fully,
he would
and
do it.
I really like the dynamic of the two of them. Cassandra was brilliant to bring along because any fight I found slightly too difficult, she would go absolutely sicko mode, as we're calling it on the streets, and survive single handedly until the end because she's built up 1,000 walls. Um, but then also later on, she has a lot to say about the previous Inquisitor, um,
Yes. Yeah.
which is really cool.
I also kept I had a couple of shift changes throughout this, but I kept Cole pretty consistently. I had Cole, Sarah, Dorian, and Cassandra at one point. I had Cole, Dorian, Iron Bull, uh Cole, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Uh Cole, Sarah, Cole, Iron Bull, Dorian has been my like main for a good chunk of the middle, and then I went back um to Cole, Varric, Cassandra um at the end.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For like the
the
tough
big
bit.
the big one. Yeah, but then I got the boat, went to the weird island, um, and there was a bunch of Avar and some spirits, and we killed all
Yeah.
those. And there's also this like big, like dome, magical dome that I went up to, and
Yep.
then this spirit started speaking to me, um, and it, the name I
Talana.
wrote,
It's
Talana, yes,
yes.
um, who was the previous Inquisitor's love.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to say love in quotation marks because it seems like he had a bit of a romance with many people. I feel like his little gang of people that he traveled with, they were like a polycule in my mind.
Oh, so disagree. Him and Talana are like a magical couple, to the point where okay, I have a lot of feelings about this. I have Cole
Okay.
with me when I go to the island always, because
Yeah.
Cole has a read on uh the situation. The
Hmm.
only other person who can have this special read on this situation is Solus, if you play before the end of the main campaign.
Hmm.
Um but um this is not actually Talana's voice. It's a spirit that has stuck around here for 100 years just to keep her last wishes alive, because she asked this spirit to do so before she died. She was reaching out to be like, I want like to tell like something. I want
Hmm.
like to be remembered. And so this spirit just stayed here, and stuck around holding on to this random woman's last memory for 100 years so that they could say it to someone before finally going to rest somewhere. Uh, and we find out that the Inquisitor Ameridan basically didn't tell Talana about the last mission he was going on because he knew it would be too dangerous, and he knew that the likelihood was that they weren't going to make it. And so he didn't tell her, and he just left her there, wondering like if he was going to
Mm.
come back. Um, and she leaves some things there for you. You get like the next kind of piece of this ongoing puzzle. Um, and uh, and then when you leave, obviously you're also attacked by more of the Hakkonites when you try to go, and that's fine. And you unlock a new thing, a new ability that you
My
get.
favorite ability
My
that I've
favorite
gotten
ability.
in ages. So fucking good.
So good.
Any projectile is bounced back at the enemy.
It's great.
It's the fucking best. Especially, and what they do in this is they give you a lot of people to just projectile you in this. They have a lot of mages. There's a lot of archers, and you just pop it and you stay inside of the circle, and then you, especially as an archer, oh boy. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
imagine as a mage, it's also delicious.
Yeah, as a mage it's great.
But you just stand in the thing, and then everyone starts getting pelted with your
With
because
their
I
own
yeah,
shit.
because it's not originally that it bounces back. It's just that
But
you
you can
just can't be
upgrade
hit
it.
with anything. But I upgraded it so it bounces back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the best shit ever. And also in the final fight, this is a thing which saved my fucking life. This is a great ability, and I will say, kind of made me be like, oh my god, are we going to find like a cool new Inquisitor abilities in this? Because this is like the first thing I did, and then we only got this, which is fine and grand. However, I would have liked the other DLC that we've played to give us like a really unique ability, because I think that's a really cool way to have like I know that's why I said it, because I'm imagining Trespasser does have this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yep.
Also, mechanics talk. Hello, everyone. I took away Fallout Plan. I moved my slow aim back, which is the one where if you do it as the opening shot, you do like 300% more damage or whatever, if the enemy is like above whatever health. But then I removed that and I put that as poisoned weapons because I upgrade my poisoning a lot. And I switched my ultimate from the one where it summons two more of you to, so you essentially shoot 3 times, like every arrow 3 times for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I switched it back to the original thing because the original like area of effect slows everyone down and does damage. It's just so perfect as an
Oh, it's
ability.
good. Yeah.
It's like I've seen people do cool shit. I've seen the thing where you can like teleport around and do like fun, cool abilities, and you can do everything. No, I want to. If my ult being like hold everyone there and do a fuckload of damage as I also pepper spray them with a bunch of area of effect things. It's peak. It's the best shit ever. So that's Robin's mechanic talk. Thank you so much for being here.
That's good. I'm gonna have a good mechanic talk for final fight, because something fucking
Huge.
epic and cinematic happened to me in that final fight.
Love it.
That was that like just couldn't have happened without the specific like mechanical
Setup that you
makeup
had.
of the group.
Great. And it's just really quickly going back. So I love, as I said before, I love arenas in games, because an arena tells me that you have faith in your combat system to be interesting enough to just do that for a bit, just fight for a bit. And it's like Oblivion, which is my favorite Elder Scrolls game, has a great arena mode, and admittedly the arena mode in it is not super fun, but the story is really good in it, and I love an arena. Final Fantasy 7 has a brilliant arena. Final Fantasy 10 has a brilliant arena. And this one, it's pretty short. It's only 3 fights, and they're all pretty easy. But I do like an arena. I do like people who are confident in their system to be like, combat is interesting enough for you to just do combat for a little bit.
Well, and this too, there's a difference, because like, okay, thinking back to the last time we had a true arena is Origins in Orzammar. You get to go and do that arena.
That's true.
Which is fun. But this also has the added bonus of it being like an interesting terrain where there are like little kind of cliffs and things to hide behind and like things to get leverage on. And so it's got like the fight is good, but then also there's a terrain aspect and there's some different like dynamics to the fight that are just fun to engage with.
Mhm.
Which I like a lot. And you also have to prove yourself in order to even get into the arena, and you have to
Yeah,
bring an offering and stuff. And there's
have
just
to
like a
do
lot of
requisition.
that. The hold does actually, you mentioned it briefly, but like the hold is missing their hold beast. Their hold beast has gone missing, and we
Big old
even
bear.
hear um there is a Hackonite in that first scene when we enter. There's a Hackonite talking to Thane Sunhair, and is like kind of being like, your hold is doing well. I assume that your hold beast must be doing well, I hope. And like is being like kind of shady and like throwing a little
Mhm.
bit of dirt around. And she's like, something's fucked up with my hold beast. I don't like the smell of it. Uh, and so kind of sends you also on this like optional mission to search for the hold
I
beast,
didn't
which
know
I
that was optional. I thought you had to do that because after I got it, she was like, "Oh yeah, we can join you in this fight now because it's proven that they are bad."
I
And
think
then
that if
you
you
get the option
gain
to
the hold's trust, you can without that, which I think you can do. I
you can
think,
do because I don't have
yeah,
hold approval, but I did get the bear back. I got like 4 of the
yeah,
5 things, and I just like I was
yeah,
like, I need to finish this today, and I was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't be bothered to be playing this all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
But that's interesting because the so searching for the hold bear, you go down into the depths of the basin floor, and this place is like super. It's super dark. It's super overgrown. It's super murky and muddy, and there. I don't know if you found this. This is also a completely optional side quest where you find like if you find one of them, then you get like put on this quest where you find like in a little cage of sticks is a skull suspended over the river basin. And if you find one, it's like, hey, let's look for some more of these and figure out what the fuck is going on here. And
mm,
it's right around where the bear is located when you find it.
Sure.
Um and if you find all of them, you can bring that back to the hold. But also while you're there, you like look around and you find first of all, there are these fucking Avar Hackonites fucking everywhere. Every 10 minutes they
Everywhere.
come walking in, and they half of them have that fucking guy who just does that swinging move every 10 minutes that kills me
And
instantly. I
that
hate that.
turns coal into paste. Yeah, I know this.
Turns poor Cole into paste. Yeah.
Just literally turns him into a mush on the floor. Turns him into the
um.
creature from "I have no mouth yet I must scream" every single time he
Yeah.
comes in. Yeah.
We find the bear locked in a cage in a cavern. There's also some treasure there. But you set the hold beast free. Um Which is very funny. There's like a little exchange with Thane Sunhair where you're like, okay, yeah, I'll absolutely do this for you. So like the bear's friendly, and she's like, oh, I didn't say that, but like, but like,
It could be.
just do it anyway.
It's a
Um,
bear.
it's a bear. But the bear fights alongside you to kill as many of its captors as possible, which is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Um, and and then the bear goes home, and you go back, and she's like, yeah, like you said, she's like, oh, they were fucked up. What they were going to do, um so also then you bring the ritual, you bring to the augur, who is like the head mage of all of the Avar clan. And the augur isn't just a mage. The augur is um like uh like a mage who is like the advisor to the Thane as well, and like
Mm.
teaches all of the other mages. So it's like maybe like if the best equivalent to be like something like what Vivienne is, where she's like a mage of the court.
Mm-hmm.
But the augur also does something different than any other mage anywhere in Thedas that we've ever met, and just regularly summons spirits to chat with them and like see what they're up to, and
Mm.
brings them right to the edge of the veil to like get word from them, and then easily passes them by, which is like, I mean, from everything that we hear about how fucking dangerous it is to be a mage because spirits will at any time just jump into your skin and take you over, is pretty crazy that like this
I mean,
guy is just like,
it's a
here.
thing that like Solus talks about almost doing. I mean, he just
Yeah.
regularly like projects himself into the Fade and like wanders around. But then we later find out that he's a literal god. So the fact that this guy is just doing
Yeah.
it and it's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's like,
And
oh.
he says something that I think is so interesting to you, and he says that the spirits talk about you like a lantern in the dark, because from their perspective, the way that we see spirits, like when the spirits come through and they turn into demons, they take a shape. But when we see them pressed across the veil, they just look like these sort of amorphous humanoid, like shades
Mm-hmm.
of green. And he explains that to them, we also look like sort of amorphous, like footprints in the, in the ether. Sort
Mm-hmm.
of like in that one Doctor Who episode where the Cybermen are like, are like pushing us.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
thinks that they're ghosts. But uh, but he says that you, the Inquisitor, you look like this beacon, this lantern. All they see is the light from your hand, and they
Mm.
see it as you move around, and they talk about you and spread this rumor. And you're like, so every spirit and demon in the Fade knows where I am
Knows that,
and
yeah.
can see me at all times. Cool, love
Cool.
that.
Huge,
I
huge, 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 huge,
love,
huge, 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 huge.
love learning that piece of information. Um, and so basically you learn that their ritual that they were going to do to the bear, is they were going to use the bear as a sacrifice, and they were going to use it to summon the spirit of Hakkon
Mm-hmm.
um into one of them, and like
Them,
bring
yeah.
Hakkon back, is what they're planning to do.
Yeah, Hakkon, who we find, oh no, yeah, because you said is a god of war,
The
but
god
is
of
like,
war.
yeah, is like, because this whole time it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's like it's like one of these lesser gods or whatever, but yeah, we find out that it's like, no, it's full big guy,
Big
the
big
one,
god.
yeah,
Um
because it's also referenced the Hala god, Glay, it
yes.
begins with G, like an elven
Gillenon.
god. Gillenan is because you find shrines with
Yeah.
Tevinter and also elven shit kind of. Oh, not to you do find
Cuz
there's
that
Tevinter ruins around it, but yeah.
yeah, so that's the next step after we find the island, because then Kenrick is like, "Hey, okay. Oh my god, you just blew my mind about Tilana. Oh, I also found this ruin. Let's go there and
Mm-hmm.
study that." Um and you meet him there, and this is where you find that Tilana uh and Ameridan um were working together, and that they had rituals to each other's gods, that they were fully working together and worshiping their gods together, and built a shrine in which their two gods were being represented, and like had flowers planted and things like that, like that matched the like Tevinter gods and the elven gods
Mm.
in the same place, which like is groundbreaking because of like how much animosity there is, and how much like between these two pantheons, that you're not allowed
Nowadays, yeah,
to
because
do
it
that.
was
Yeah.
this event took place 800 years ago.
It's
Um,
800. Yeah.
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 So yeah, there is like, we know there's so much shit that happened since then, but at this point, and even back then, it's like it was pretty crazy that they were just freely like with each other, pretty radical. But yeah, it's definitely like oh yeah, this just doesn't happen anymore, and it's so crazy that it happens that it's completely out of theory that
Yeah.
people did this.
I
Yeah,
was yelled at for a nun for sleeping with a man from Tevinter. I
yeah,
was I was confronted in my own home uh
yeah,
about it. Um so it's definitely been um it's definitely just like an interesting
there is
piece
a
of
lot of
history.
weird, interesting things that happen with in terms of spirits
Mm.
to in this game, because there is a trail that you can search because someone's like, oh, this one soldier is missing, can you go find them? And then you find like
This is one of my
tens and
favorite
tens
little
of
bits.
dead uh
Not
Hakkonites,
just
like,
dead, dead and petrified.
yeah,
Like they are
like
frozen
charred,
in time.
yeah, like charred with like fire and shit. And then every single time I was walking past, Cassandra's like, there's no fucking way that one person did this. This is truly, like, at
Yeah.
first she's like, oh wow, that's fucking impressive, they held off like 3 people. And then you find like over the course of 15 more, she's like, this didn't happen actually. There's no way this is one person, because
Yeah.
this is insane that someone's able to do this amount of damage and still be walking up and alive. And you find them, and it turns out that the body was a mage, and then was it that the person
Her
died?
her lover, her lover or her best friend, and I think it's a little ambiguous as to what they are, got killed by one of the Hakkonites. And and in like her absolute like rage and grief invited a spirit in that promised to help kill
Yeah,
them all.
and it's like, because they're a big thing is that they're wielding a sword. They're just like a normal, like, they're like, oh, I kind of was a mage, but now I have a sword, and I've been doing this with the sword. And it's like, oh, you're a knight enchanter. You've kind of like accidentally become a
Yeah.
sword wielding, not a knight enchanter. That's what Vivienne is, arcane warrior,
Yeah.
um, and is now like wielding both sword and flame in the cool, which is the coolest aesthetic ever
Yeah.
to be doing. Yeah, and that was so sick. And
So you have a choice with that one. What'd you do?
I let him go. I'm like,
Me
hell yeah,
too.
baby. And I was like, go on, off you pop. Go
Yeah.
live your best. Like, hey, take down as many as you can. And then Vivienne and Cassandra are like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, then even
My
Cole,
friends
as I
had
was leaving,
no problem with it. Dorian was like, "Yeah, that's
oh,
fine."
that's crazy. Because even Cole was like, you know that she doesn't understand. There's no gray in that. She wants to kill Hakkonites, and she's just going to do that forever, regardless of who they are, or
Yeah,
like,
Cole said that to me too, and I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, great. Seems
But
good." I think.
it's yeah, I don't know. It's like, that's crazy, because it's like she's just going to be doing that forever,
Yeah.
until someone kills her first, which, according to the last 30 guys, is going to be a little bit of a while.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I told Harding, and Harding was like, "Oh shit, well, God, I mean, I guess that's sad because they are technically dead." And I'm like, "Yeah, technically."
I actually don't agree cuz she talks to you. Like it's just like, "No, I invited them in. I wanted this. I said yes. I wanted to avenge my
Yeah,
friend's
but
death."
she clearly is pretty possessed, and is like, doesn't have that much control over it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Uh,
It seems like because we've seen possession before over the course of 3 games. We've seen possession, and possession looks like you have zero autonomy. Possession looks like you are turned into an
I
abomination
guess.
instantly.
Yeah.
And this seemed to
It
me
seems a
a little
little
bit
like
different.
it seems a little bit like a win, but like, in whereas win is like, oh, I have the spirit of this like big healing thing and I'm dying.
Exactly.
This
It
is
seemed like
like,
a win
I'm
to
a
me.
little bit like, I'm a spirit, but of pure violence and rage.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I guess I'm fine. But it's still like, eventually she's gonna lose it. I
Yeah.
felt. It's like if she dies, then there is just going to be a hyper powerful demon just roaming around, and it's like, all right, well, I'll catch it when you die, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll come back eventually.
Speaking of which, I would love to know if Wynn's dead. I have to imagine she is.
She is. She has a canon death day.
She does?
Yep. Um,
Is it at the end
sh-
of Origins?
she canonically dies. After I do this, because I know this because I think I googled what happens to her.
Yeah, I don't remember if we're told about it, but I guess we must be.
She dies in Dragon Age Asunder.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she dies transferring the spirit that kept her alive into someone else.
That's good. That's a good ending for her.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and then her son becomes her old job. Wow, this is fun. Asunder seems cool. It takes place in Kirkwall, but fucking Evangeline Wynn and Shale are all there.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
We're gonna
Actually,
read it. We'll read it.
yeah, we'll read it. That looks awesome. Is that the one with Cole?
Uh, is that the one with Cole? Maybe.
Wow, it
Might
has
be.
great Enchanter Fiona in here. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start reading this. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we unlock all of that. We learn about that temple, those two that temple with the two shrines.
Mm-hmm.
That leads us to where we think the final resting place of Ameridan might be, and it's guarded so heavily by these Hakkonites, and we need their help to the friendly Avar to get us in there.
In.
Um and they agree to help us because we've done all of this stuff for them, and we've proven that the Hakkonites are completely hostile, and they figure that they're going to be forgiven for it. It's going to be fine. We
Also, I don't want to walk away from her. Thane Sunhair tells us the story of how
Oh, the story.
why she
Yeah.
has that name, and it's because
Yeah.
she was locked in battle with someone. An archer lit her hair on fire with a flaming arrow, and she was like, "If I move from this position, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna let it happen." And then all of her hair is like in flame as she's fighting this one person, and then everyone is like, "Holy shit,
Yeah,
she's
and
actually insane."
yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then we learn that from actually if you go down to like the bard who's at the bar, like down in the lower bits of the encampment, she like gives you a big explanation about like your like these names that you get in the Avar tradition, and like you don't get like the name you're going to be called for the rest of your life until you've done something either so epically badass or so epically disappointing.
Mm.
And she tells you that her father's was like, I don't know, something about like hide being like thick as a hide or something like that, because he was super stubborn and like never gave up
Mm.
an argument or whatever. So like you could get this name and it could be really bad
Bad.
or it could be really badass like Sunhair. Um so we break in to here, to this place where we think Ameridan's final resting place is. And this is an interesting little journey because immediately right off the bat, every companion is like, it's fucking cold in here, and there's ice all over the walls, and it's like really cold, and there's like one fire pit nearby, and if you step more than 5 feet away from it, you now have a new bar to keep track of that is keeping track of
Liked
how
that. I thought it was cool.
close to death you are from freezing. And I love it because at first you're like, oh, this is interesting. But there's like a flame like every, 20, 30 feet. It never really, like for the beginning part of this, like even if you explore every hallway and like go get every piece of loot, like you're never away from a flame long enough to feel any damage from it. And it's like, okay, that's interesting, but like it's not I'm not actually in danger. And as we start going like deeper and deeper into these caverns, we're unlocking some runes and we're getting some loot. And we now start hearing like the rituals start to take place where this guy is starting to summon the god Hakkon. Um and the ritual is ongoing, and it gets like louder and more intense as we go in, and we keep lighting these flames and like staying close to them or whatever. And then we reach like the ritual site in the center here, and there are multiple of these braziers lit with all this fire, and there's a ton of enemies. Like some of them are doing the ritual and some of them are just there fighting us. And it's a brutal fucking fight, and it is part one of the like a brutal fucking fight, because you
Yeah.
fight like a ton of these enemies. You have to stay close to the fire, or it starts ticking down. There are a ton of these uh uh like great axe wielding guys who are just so brutal. um and it is like it's truly like I finish that fight with like 2 health potions left usually.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy who was doing the ritual, who was summoning Hakkon into himself, uh the ritual then ends, and he starts fighting you, and he's fucked up.
Yeah, he's like a full revenant, is like teleporting around and is huge and shit. Like, yeah.
And he can freeze you, and he can, yeah, he's like,
And
he's
then the lower health he gets, he starts blowing out
the
uh
braziers.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then he's like hemming you into one spot to stand, because it's not like an instant death, but it is like, it's like, okay, you hit the point where it's like, okay, now you're starting to freeze, and then you start slowing down, and then you get like a couple of tick damage, like occasionally, and then the tick damage is like speeding up, and you're like slowed down, so it's like you're moving
Yeah.
super fucking slow, and your health is like tick, 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 tick.
The other
Yeah.
thing is that he is a vessel of cold. So anyone who has to fight him in his immediate range also takes that cold damage, regardless of whether you're near a fire or not. So your benefit for this fight is to have as many of your party as possible to be range
Yeah.
damage. As this one was me actually reviving Cassandra over and over again, because Cassandra
Crazy.
kept
Why it's going
taking
down.
all of that damage. You fucking, by the skin of your teeth, I feel like, for me at least, you kill this guy. And
No,
what it is like,
this guy kept walking into traps. I embarrassed him a little bit, but
oh, I love
he
that.
was very tough. Yeah.
But in the center of this fight is literally the dragon, the Hakkon.
Oh, it's a great visual.
Oh, it's a great visual. Frozen, encased in ice, in confrontation with Inquisitor Ameridan. Like,
Yeah.
the two of them are locked in battle, frozen in ice in the center piece of this room. Like, and that's where they were doing this ritual. They were literally sucking the god Hakkon out of this dragon and into this guy, and we interrupt it. And then as the ritual ends, like, Inquisitor Ameridan unfreezes and is able to speak to us.
Yeah. Yeah. He asks us a lot of questions. I'm just like, who are you? We're like, oh, no, actually, he doesn't even ask us a lot of questions. He's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I don't like, I tried for as long as I could. How long did I try for? How long was I able to hold this guy? Because I wasn't strong enough to, clearly to hold him for, I wasn't strong enough to fight him. So I decided to freeze him in time. How long was I out? And you're like, 800 years. And he's like, oh God. Like,
Yeah.
Did the love of my life die peacefully? And I'm like, no, she died alone, waiting for you. And
Waiting
he's
for
like,
you.
oh my fucking God. And he's like, oh my God, okay. Oh, but you're a seeker though. How are the seekers? Oh, dude,
Oh.
really bad actually. You know the rite of tranquil, the tranquil thing, and he's like, yeah, they only put it on seekers temporarily. He's like, yeah, they do it to all mages now, and he's like, oh my fucking God. So okay, what about it's like, oh, you're an elf, it's good to see, it's nice to see elves, how are we doing? Yeah, so about 20 years after you did this, we all got put into big slavery and it's
Yeah.
really fucking bad. He's
Jesus
like,
fucking Christ, yeah.
cool, dude, cool. Can you kill this dragon? Yeah, I'm gonna die now.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna join my wife, I don't want to fucking be here. Yeah, and it's just him just continuously asking, oh, how is this? And you're like, oh, bad,
It's pretty
really
bad.
bad.
It's
It's
a
really
bad
bad, actually.
situation. Yeah.
Everything. Because a lot of the things that he's talking about are things that are like, he's like, yeah, it's fine though. It's like, it's good. And like, people have given me their word that it won't like twist into something evil. Um, and I believe him. I believe that the world is on the up and up and will be okay. And then you're like, actually, pretty much as soon as you died, everything went quite solidly to shit.
Yeah.
Like everyone was
Yeah.
abused, and everything that you had people promise you that they wouldn't abuse, they did immediately
Yeah.
as soon as you went out of their eye line. And I think that was a big moment for Helwyn specifically, because her whole thing is like, she's trying to do all this good stuff, and is now like being rude to people and is like not caring about, it's like, yeah, like whatever, like it doesn't fucking matter if we do this because of blah blah blah, and is now seeing like, oh, I actually need to do more good, because as soon as I'm gone, everyone is gonna fucking turn immediately and try to fuck me over. And
Yeah.
so now she's,
That's such an interesting and a very logical take for Helen, it seems. But Boss is like, everybody is going to twist everything that I
yeah,
do. Like, it's just like, I can't. Yeah, I have to. Boss is like, I have to fucking lock in.
yeah,
Yeah. And he sacrifices himself to take one last like kind of blow against the dragon before the dragon unfreezes in time and flies off. I remember the first time I played when that dragon unfroze, and I was like, you have to be kidding me. I cannot fight this
fighting
dragon
this
right
thing
now.
right now. Yeah,
You have to be joking. I will die. Um,
and they are joking.
they are joking. The dragon
Dragon
leaves,
flies
thankfully.
off, but then freezes the whole river, which I think is really fucking cool. And you
That is
fight
really
the dragon
cool.
on this giant like ice arena that is created.
Yeah.
But then also there's a bunch of memories that you see floating
This
around
is
now.
this is beautiful. And it must have been beautiful. Did you still have Viv with you for this one?
I had Viv still. Yeah.
Oh, that must have been cool. That must have been cool, because I love the memories thing. So it's like you start searching for this, and Ameridan's memories, like literally like his sort of like last journey memories, because Ameridan goes on this last quest, um, which like Ameridan is sent to, like, his last quest is that he's sent to kill oh god he's what the fuck is he sent to do? He's sent um to kill this dragon by somebody whose name I forget.
Mm-hmm.
By uh Emperor Dracon. Um
Mm-hmm.
and it was kept a secret because the emperor didn't want anybody to know about this problem, because the second blight was about to happen.
Yes. Yes.
Uh
Yes.
and so Ameridan was going on this quest kind of like in secret, even though he was someone that the people knew as a hero. This was something that no one knew what he was doing, and this is why like this end to him is kind of like not something that was known. Um, and so he knew it was possibly his last quest. And so these last memories of him are him like kind of reminiscing about everything that he's been through together with these people that have been by his side. And so we like hear him talk about them bickering and about them like hating each other and about them questioning him and about them not trusting each other and all of these kinds of things that we've obviously seen our Inquisitor go through in the same way. Um, but he's talking about it all in this sort of like loving way about like how, you know, it was all worth it to do. And it's like, I don't know, it's just very it's very impactful. It can be very impactful, especially depending on what companions you've kind of taken with you on your journey.
Mm.
If you've only ever taken people who get along, it might not hit very well, but like if you've gotten like to have those bits between like Cole and Vivienne, or Sarah and Solus, and like, you know, these like really contentious things like Iron Bull and Dorian, um and how much they kind of like hate and distrust each other, and stuff, then it can really hit pretty good. um yeah,
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
No, it's cute. It's good, and that's what made me be like, oh my god, they all love each other, because it's just like it's a party. It's like he's just talking about the adventures of this like party of people that he's traveling with, and
Yeah,
like and him reminiscing about, you know, the love that he had for all of them and the regrets, and like, I mean, even lovingly saying like, oh yeah, like he had like a dwarf companion who was like trying to make this new like alchemical concoction and getting on this other person's nerves, and then even Cassandra's like, oh my god, a dwarf getting on your nerves, imagine. But it's
yeah,
like he says it so like, yeah, no, I liked it when they got on my nerves, because that means, you know, we were all alive, and that's good. That's like
yeah,
us being friends, and it's like, oh, that's fucking cute, actually. I
yeah,
should.
it is really cute.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
really
good.
good. And then you find the fucking dragon,
And you find the
and
fucking dragon.
I don't think I don't think this is the hardest dragon fight in the whole game, but it
No, I've
definitely
definitely,
is
yeah,
an interesting one because of what you mentioned, that like the terrain is all ice. Like,
yeah.
and that is very
And a thing that I think is really cool is that this dragon, unlike I fought one other dragon in this game, and it was the one on that fucking island in the Storm Coast, I think.
ooh, oh, that is a tough
Um,
dragon,
yeah,
I think.
who was really hard, and I would say harder than this. But also, I was way lower level, and now I'm like touching max. Also, crazily, um, the Descent is a meat grinder. I leveled up once, and this one isn't a meat grinder. I leveled up like 4 times in it.
Yeah.
They really juice you up with experience, which thank God.
Yeah.
But uh, a thing that I think which I thought was interesting is that this dragon does a lot of ranged attacks, like small spitballs, but they give you the shield at the beginning of this whole mission, which deflects every thing that this whole phase, this like ranged
Yeah.
attack phase. And I would like shoot up this shield, and I have literally my favorite ability in the game, which is the further away I am, the more damage this thing does. And then also if I'm more than like 900 foot, oh no, 300 foot away, it does like 900% more damage. So
Yeah.
I'm like fucking digging into this thing. And I just like pop this shield, and then it's like trying to hit me from far away, and I'm like, haha, storytelling means that you can't do this, because I got given a thing to fight specifically you by the love of this guy's life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me your beautiful story about how you killed it, because you were so
So
excited about
yeah,
it.
so the dragon actually, is not. I meant to say it's actually my big moment, because the dragon fight is great and it's pretty epic, but I did pretty well in it, and I don't really think I had any cinematic moments in the dragon fight. Um, it's the Revenant of Gerd
Mm-hmm.
Harrofson is his name.
Very good.
The guy that you fight, who is summoning Hakkon right before you wake up. Um, Ameridan. So I had Dorian, Cole, Cassandra. That was my final crew. And we were holding together by the skin of our teeth.
Mm.
Thank God we had Cole wearing Kitty's collar, so Cole would
Just
pop
bouncing
back up
back
every
100%
time
of the
that
time.
he died, like, or at least a percentage of the time. And Dorian has the same ability that I have, but I never use this one because so like the Inquisitor, you get your like your max ability, you have your focus ability. You will unlock a focus ability in your skill tree, which for me is the necromancy one, is the time one, where it slows down time for you and your companions, for all of your enemies, but not for you and your
Yeah.
companions. And Dorian has that same one. I never use it because if my focus is high, I have the rift ability, and the rift ability is always better than that.
Just the best. Yeah.
So because it just freezes them and does max damage
Shit
to them
tons
over
of
and over
damage.
again.
Yeah.
Um, so I never use that ability, even though I do have access to it. So we're fighting. We're down to the just Gerd Harrison, the Revenant, by himself. His archers are gone, but he's kicking our asses. We're out of health potions. I've revived Cassandra a million times. I've revived Cole a million times. I should have had an archer instead of Cole for this fight. I had learned. And we're barely there, and he's finally getting low, but like we have one brazier left. And it's really looking fucking grim. And then he does his teleport move and hits me and takes me out, Boss the Inquisitor. Dorian on also low health with pretty much nothing left. Um, and Cole and Cassandra also at like pretty minimal health.
Mm.
Everybody's got their bloody avatars in the top left corner. And I switch. So like um Inquisitor dies, Dorian has a spell on me that when I die, I stay up as a spirit for a few extra seconds so I can keep casting spells.
Yeah.
Instead of continuing to man myself, because if I would die and drop, I would have switched to Cassandra, who was in direct combat with the guy, because she was next on my list. I let myself go on autopilot, switched to Dorian, moved Dorian to be right next to the Inquisitor. As soon as the Inquisitor dropped, Dorian dropped the time shield, so that the time
Huge.
shield went up over just the two of us, and Dorian could revive the Inquisitor while Cassandra and Cole both wailed on this guy. The two of them both die. As the time shield drops, Dorian and the Inquisitor pop back up together with the time shield drop and deliver the last like 6 blows to the guy to
Oh,
take him out
fuck yes.
together.
That actually is so hot. That's
It was
stupid.
really hot. It was
That's fucking
really
awesome.
epic. Like just to use like this spell. Also, your companions won't, unless you change their directives in the settings, they won't automatically use focus abilities. So you
Yeah.
have to man them in order to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So Dorian would not never used this ability when we have been playing this
Yeah.
game. So like in the narrative, this has been like it makes it seem like, it made it seem to me in the moment like this time
In this
spell,
moment of desperation.
which like also is a part of Dorian's story. His teacher used time magic to do all this evil shit.
Yeah.
Like Dorian has been holding on to this ability to manipulate time for a year, and the Inquisitor falls and he drops it instantly, and just rips it out, manipulates time just to save the love of his life, bring him back from the brink, and like
Oh
come
my
back
god.
just in time to kill this motherfucker. It
Oh my
was
god.
awesome.
That fucking rules, actually. That's
Yeah.
so fucking sick. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
Oh,
was
holy
great.
shit. Damn.
sometimes mechanics are good fucking storytelling, and that
Yes,
was
exactly.
it.
Mechanics
Yeah.
help fuel story, and I am always saying this.
You
I've
are
said it,
always saying
and I
this,
am
and that
genuinely
is
actually,
games. That
and that
is
is games.
genuinely games.
And we should kill them with a gun.
We should.
This series of jokes brought to you by our 4 friends and our little in jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. So you kill the
that's
dragon,
awesome.
and then Harding. So you kill the dragon who is embedded with the spirit of Hakkon or whatever, and then Harding shows up, walks out of the ice.
Hello, she says. She has a nice moment, which she's like, she's like, "Damn, you are fucking good." And it's like, "Yeah, you saw me kill Corypheus," and she's like, "No, I saw the rock in the sky because I was too far away. I couldn't see anything. I was like below you, but it's crazy to see you up close doing the damn thing." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I guess that is different." And I love Harding. She's very cute. Also, Harding and this professor,
Oh,
they
there's a
must.
vibe.
Come on. It's like they have to be together.
There's a vibe
They,
for sure.
yeah, absolutely there is. Um, yeah. And then, oh, she does something. She says something.
She makes a
And then,
comment about how you pick too much elf fruit, which I'm like,
oh, I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I did like that.
hey,
You're
what?
asking me to do this. Yeah, I thought it was a cute comment.
It is.
I was wondering when I was doing it. I was like, I wonder if she changes the joke depending, like, if the joke is like dependent on how much, what's the most that you've picked, and the joke switches. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think it is. It's just like elf fruit because there's a pretty fucking high chance that yeah you've done the most fucking elf fruit
Yeah.
because that's the game. But I thought that was a fun little
It's fun. It's
comment.
cute.
Yeah.
She also makes a comment about how like kind of like no one's ever gonna appreciate you. Like no one's.
And that is the theme of the Jaws of Hakkon, is that no
Yeah.
one will actually understand or appreciate the work that you specifically are putting into making sure the world is safe. When you're
Yeah.
gone, everyone will fuck you over. Everyone is going to forget, regardless of your sacrifice. Like, this guy for the last 800 years has kept a god at bay, and nobody remembers his name. Not even you knew who he was.
Yeah.
Until you actively went to go find him, and everyone on this island is just like, yeah, no, these guys are just acting weird. I don't know what the fuck it is. And that's the only reason why you've gone back to find him.
And Boss did not handle that well. Boss did not think that was a cute comment. Boss is like, I don't accept that.
Mm.
I like Boss is kind of entering a pretty rough area of his narrative.
Yeah.
Where he is
Yeah.
not having a good time.
I don't know. I didn't really get the option, but I do think that Helwyn is like, it's just like, yeah, probably. Like
Yeah.
things and time
That feels right.
is weird like that, and people will forget, but we kind of got to do what we got to do now, and
No, that feels
hope
right
is the
for
only
him.
thing that we can do.
Yeah.
Is try and hope. I had a nice moment with Cassandra, who's again my favorite character in this game. But during the elf thing, because I was, during speaking to the previous Inquisitor, because then he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe the Seekers have gone all evil," and I'm like, "Cassandra's trying," and she's like, "I am." And
Yeah.
I just thought that was cute. She's like, "No, I'm
That was
trying.
cute.
I don't want them to go evil again." I just think she's great. I really like
Yeah,
her.
she's great.
Had a really lot of very good bonding time with Vivienne, who I think is the least written character of this.
Yes.
Of this game, which is unfortunate.
She's a very fascinating character who is underserved by the writing team. Yeah,
I know we've
sure.
already talked about this, but it is. I think this DLC made it more upsetting with how much she was doing. Like she has a lot of interesting things to say, and I think it's because because when a character, I've experienced this with Blackwall. I had Blackwall with me every single mission because I thought he was the coolest guy ever. As soon as he stopped responding to me in story, I just dropped him immediately because what's the fucking point? Like I don't want to have you here.
Right. Why?
And Vivienne bounces 25% of the way through the game, like has nothing interesting to say so fast. As soon as you get to Skyhold, you do one mission with her and then she's like just a ghost basically. So walking around with her, hearing her talk to Cole, I'm like, damn, you have so much to say and do and so many opinions on things that I think are really interesting, like her
Yeah.
hatred of Cole, but then the conversation that Cole and her have where Cole's like, you're just projecting because you're horrified that you're going to be me one day. And that's a very scary thought. So you're just pushing me away. And I was like, oh my God, this is so delicious. Like I need her to have more of a bit in this story. And it kind of bummed me out a little because she has some interesting things here because she talks about the circles with the previous Inquisitor because the previous Inquisitor is like, hey, so are mages loved still? And then she's like, no, actually, they are in jail, basically.
Yeah.
And just a lot of things that I thought was cool. And Cole is my boy still. I love him very much.
Yeah.
And
Love
he just
Cole.
kills it this whole DLC.
Oh, this is like his arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
A
bringing
lot to do
Cole
with
here.
spirits and regret and high
Mm-hmm.
emotions and shit. And then he just is constantly killing the game, which is a thing that he does on pretty much every mission. It's like, I think Cole is one of the characters that you can bring everywhere and he will always have an insight that you cannot get from any other character.
He's
Um,
so interesting. He's so fascinating.
yeah.
And I love him so much. Yeah, I truly,
Do you
I
know
think he's the
do you know,
best.
do you know what? This is so fucking off topic, but it's still about Cole. Cole is who I wished Anders was in 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Much like how Varric is a replay of Orgrin, I think that Cole is a replay of Anders. Like
Like a better version, like this done
they
correctly.
they
Yeah.
were like, okay, what didn't work about the angle that we were trying to hit? Let's try to hit it slightly better. It's like they had Justice, one of the best, still to
Justice
this
fucked.
day.
Justice was well done.
And
When they
then they
did it
put
with
him into
Anders, it didn't hit the same.
And then they were like, why didn't this work? Like, what was it about the dynamic of having a spirit in someone that was interesting? And why why was this a little weaker? And then they put Cole into the mix and Cole became then like that's it, what it is.
Yeah.
He's one of the best companions because he's able to give that
And
insight in a
he's
way that
able to
Anders wasn't
also
able to.
exactly, and he's able to show because Cole is at odds. Anders, we don't get a sense that him and Justice are at odds until the very, very, very end.
Yeah.
Like we don't have any sense that there's any sort of conflict between him and the spirit inside him until the
Well,
very
we
end,
get
and then it's over kind of
and then it's
instantly.
over. But I mean, I'd like to push back against that. We get a little bit of it. Like one of our first interactions with Anders is him is Anders losing his cool and vengeance coming out. Like that's a really interesting, cool moment of Anders being like, yeah, I'm like I have to keep a level head or literally a spirit of death and vengeance comes out and tries to kill everyone around me. And that's really cool. But it's mission 1, end of game. In between, it's like this just nothing in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah,
and it's a shame because it's a big waste of 2 huge characters. It's weirdly a waste of Justice and a waste of Anders.
exactly. Two huge, very interesting characters.
Absolutely.
Very interesting characters with very big stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cole is just very given all of the energy that that kind of interesting dynamic deserves. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So it's a thing which I do really like about this franchise is that when they get a dynamic of a companion wrong, they do just do it again. Instead of being like, oh
Oh,
man,
we'll never try that again. Yeah.
such wasted potential on this arc. They're like, no, we're just going to try again. We really wanted the best friend dwarf, and it's like, no, we kind of fucked that up. Let's just do it again. And then they nail it, and it's like, we really wanted this like a companion who's morally questionable who takes on a spirit and then is possessed by them, and then they kind of let us down a little bit, and they're like, let's just do that again.
Yeah.
So I hope that, I know the Veilguard's already out, and we should really know. I don't know fuck all about the
No,
characters if they
I've
go to bed or
really
anything.
stayed very spoiler free.
Truly, it's actually
remarkable, actually.
it freaks me out a little bit because I'm like, I mean, is this commenting on the game at all? That it's like
No,
I
I'm
haven't seen
scrolling
anything.
past things. I'm showing
I have
self-restraint. I
I have
scroll
a
past
lot.
things.
I have a lot of words muted. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
I
I hope
see
that
I
there's a
see stuff
character
all the
who
time, and I scroll past it like with iron willpower.
we only have 2 weeks.
I know.
New year, baby.
Because next
Next
episode of Dorkspawn is us talking about
is
fucking Trespasser.
Trespasser.
And I want to say preemptively, Trevor Morris did an excellent job with the base game. Trevor Morris put his whole fucking pussy into the Trespasser DLC soundtrack. He whipped it out for that fucking DLC soundtrack. And I
Jesus.
cannot wait to be immersed in that soundtrack. Again, I'm so fucking excited.
I have now, it's a little scary. I have the highest expectations I've had for most experiences going into this, because this isn't just like people say that this is the real end of this game. People say that this is the best DLC to ever exist, and this is like one of the best. This is the best Dragon Age thing, and this is what everyone left off on for like a decade.
That's
and
interesting.
This leads into the Veilguard. Like, this is the Veilguard storyline, and like, like,
that's true. That's definitely true.
This is the biggest shit, and
I don't know. I guess I do agree that it is the best DLC. I think I do. I don't know if it's. I think that Jaws of Hakkon is my favorite DLC. I think this is the best DLC, probably. I think the most important thing about Trespasser is it is the real end of the game. And so any war table operations that seem interesting to you that you haven't done yet, do them. Make sure that you do any like little side quests that seem interesting to you, because once you start Trespasser, you cannot go back to the war table. You cannot go back to any other part of Thetis. You are just locked into the true end of the game. I am really excited. I have a tiny little prediction about Helwyn for Trespasser that I'm really curious about. Just based on who she is and where she's gone throughout this game.
She's had a bit of a villainous streak toward this end from being portrayed and left
she's crashing
truly
out. Yeah.
Well, she's just been left really alone in this whole thing, and like her whole thing was being not wanting any of this and really trying to hand it off on a lot of people. And then Solus was like consistently there, and then he was like, actually, by the way, you're a slave and you look stupid, and I'm gonna take a thing which means a lot to you, and then I'm gonna walk away and then never look back again. And she's like, oh, cool. And then I guess then started speaking to Cassandra. Now her and Cassandra are like best mates, and now she has a support system, and she's gonna go figure out what the fuck is happening next.
Yeah.
I think she had a bad time, but now she's back good. And even Helwyn crashing out is still like, yeah, I'll help. I'll just be a little snippy about it. Like, she's not evil or mean anymore. Like, she's still fine.
That I don't get. From her. Yeah, for
because
sure.
that's because she is still like, you have to help as many people as possible. She's still a good person. Anyway,
amazing, perfect.
I'm excited for that prediction. Everyone, get your bingo sheets ready. I imagine that we are going to be ticking off a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things. I can imagine next week is going to be fucking long.
I think I'm going to cry a little bit, actually.
It is the 20th of December. Merry Christmas for anyone who celebrates.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Happy holidays.
Yeah. 27th.
Also, I think Christmas Day is first day of Hanukkah, too, this year. So happy Hanukkah.
Oh my God, happy Hanukkah. Yeah, I'm free on the 27th. Okay, good. So we are gonna, because I was like, should we delay a little bit to be in person for the end of fucking Inquisition?
Jeez, Louise. Let me look at a calendar here.
Because it will be 3 extra days.
Oh,
It's New Year's, so it would mean that we'll be taking 2 weeks off, but we'll be able to be in person, and we
we
can.
could record it in person on like the night you come in.
We'll be hosting.
Yes, we will have people staying.
We'll
with
be
us.
hosting the
The
world's
funniest
most.
people in the world.
Yeah, but
We could do
people
a
who
2.5-hour episode where we're constantly interrupted by Grace and Amelia.
saying, "Stop recording your stupid show and come hang out with us."
This is, I know you're saying this, but like it's selling it to me as an idea. I I'm kind of thinking, yeah, we do.
Okay. Keep an eye on the fucking socials, because I guess you'll figure out what we're doing, because we might get back and the vibes are like, Grace is too annoying, we can't do this shit, or Grace is just annoying enough where it's very funny.
Where it's perfect.
If anyone is a fan of Unprepared Casters, which you should be, because I was just on the most recent arc.
Should be.
And Dillin's been on too, and we just did a whole week in North Carolina filming a bunch of shit. But they have a show on their Patreon called UCHQ, and it was Haley and Grace, and they were talking about how Grace was having the worst moment because she was told to be quiet for 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
And me and Dillin were trying to babysit her, and she was the most annoying woman in the world. And I literally it's tough for me to say that I've loved someone more than I love Grace. She's just
my
perfect.
God, she's just so excellent.
Literally the little sister. She's the best person in the world. Anyway, so we'll be seeing if we're going to continue to silence Grace.
Yeah, which I hope we do. Yeah.
But regardless, hey, come around the war table. Come around the war table with us.
Yeah.
Come around. Stand around, everyone. Beg.
Beg.
Beg on your knees. Beg. Beg that
Beg.
we succeed.
For we have seen the throne of the gods. And it is empty.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. I'll see you guys in the future at some point.